Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. We are at a very fun, beautiful yard for a special garden tour. Before I get any further, I mean, dear heavens, is this Rudbeckia not absolutely stunning? We are at not only a customer's house, but a dear sweet friend's house that we actually installed this entire backyard in February of 2021. Travis and Stephanie decided to put in a pool in their backyard, and in that process, their entire backyard was completely destroyed. If you have ever put a pool in your house, you understand the ordeal that ensues with all of those fun activities. So once the pool was starting to get wrapped up, they came to us and they said, hey, we want you to completely redo our backyard and landscape it, because this space is an area where their family just comes and relaxes. They have 3 kiddos. They use this space all the time, and they just wanted to create a beautiful backyard. So that is what we did. We're going to take you on a tour to show you all of just the beauty that is in this space. We did install it. Creekside Nursery installed this February of 2021. Travis has maintained the whole thing himself since then. For the last year, almost year and a half, he has maintained this space and has done a fantastic job. So without further ado, we are going to get rolling and do a fantastic garden tour. So literally their entire backyard was destroyed. This is the sidewalk that's coming off of their driveway. This was the main thoroughfare where all the construction happened. So we just came in here, put in a little bit of a path, because you know, even though they have the sidewalk that goes to the house and the back porch and the other areas, you've always had that space where you cut through. And so I said, Travis, let's lay down some stone, because you know you're going to have kids and people just, you know, traipsing through, so let's do that. So we did that. One thing that you need to know about their property is they get water from everywhere. They have a golf course behind them, so they're on the golf course. They have to have these massive drain pipes, water drainage. They have, I think, like, it's a crazy number. I want to say almost like 10 on their total property. So they've got one here, there's one over there, so they're everywhere. So water and erosion was a really big concern for them. So we had to work around that. You will notice this absolutely gorgeous yard. This is Zenith, excuse me, Zenith zoysia. We laid down the sod, and it is just, is it not beautiful? It is a fantastic hot weather loving grass. So here we are, August, North Carolina. The heat and the humidity are just out the roof, and this zoysia is loving life. The reason that Travis wanted to do the Zenith zoysia was because we could have it cut and installed in February, March in those cooler temperatures. Other zoysias have to be installed when it's hot, and because this whole area was a big, huge mud pit, we wanted to go ahead and get it installed then. And he has really loved it. It has just done a fantastic job. It has a bit of a wider blade to it. So for me, it reminds me of fescue, which is a cool weather grass, but it is beautiful. So the zoysia is doing fantastic. All coming up here between, of course, they have neighbors on their left and their right. We landscaped this with some fantastic hydrangeas, different shrubs, and then up here underneath the river birches, we put in 2 of the chiffon roses of Sharon. This is, I want to say, the pink. Yes, so this is the pink rose of Sharon, to give them some height in here. So they are doing very well. We are here first thing in the morning, so the sun is just coming up. So these are fantastic. And then some beautiful lace cap hydrangeas that have that are, you know, towards the end of their bloom cycle. Really nice. So this will kind of, over the years, because it's only been in here for 1 year. So remember, with your shrubs, it really takes about 3 years for you to see them have their massive growth. So imagine that they have the 2 roses of Sharon there. hydrangeas that'll fill in, and they will get to be about like a 3 feet by 3 feet. Really nice, clearly very happy and healthy, because look at that foliage on these. They are nice, beautiful, lovely foliage on it. There's no, leaf spot or any kind of bacterial blight on them. Very happy. So for the first year in the ground, and it's August, they are doing great. And then, like Travis was saying, here the grass is a little bit more sparse because of the limbs of the river birches. So as these river birches go on, they can come in here and limb them up if they want to, if they need to get more sun. So that's just one of those things when you have trees, mature trees in your yard, there's that little bit of maintenance. Every once in a while, you just kind of have to limb things up. So Travis and Stephanie wanted to have a really big area for their kiddos to come here and play, because they are in those teenage years, and of course you have friends over and events and just different gatherings, right? So you need to have a space where kids can run and play or just come and hang out. So they have this beautiful area of the lawn. So this is the only area that has the grass in the lawn, and then just wrapping around. And it has done really great and really, really nice. So we're gonna start, I think, on the fence line, and then we'll kind of wrap our way around. So they do have, of course, a fence because their yard, the golf course, is right here. And we came in here and wanted to do kind of a mixed border, right? Lots of interest in here. So we have got some butterfly bushes. We've got both Miss Violet and Miss Molly, so that you have the purple and the pink in here. Very happy. There is, did we put irrigation on this, Jerry? No, so this is not on irrigation, so you can see that. And then we've got the perennial, the summerific hibiscus. And this is going to be, I'm looking at it, I'm trying to remember now who this was. Will this be Candy Crush? I want to say this might be Candy Crush. It's already been blooming a lot, but it got that beautiful bloom on it. Lots of buds still left to go. This is a very, very happy plant, and she is doing quite nicely. Tons of buds on her. So we just kind of repeat that. Of course, then we have the sunshine ligustrums, the perennial grasses. They did get a big downpour last night. So like the grasses right now, because they're so heavy, once they fluff up and they dry out, they'll pop back up again. That would be Apache rose. So Apache rose will get some nice height to them. We put them in groups of 3, and they are doing just really nice once they dry out. And then coming on over here to this part of the yard, one of the big problems we talked about with the erosion is because of the golf course, and the golf course is higher, and it has kind of, that slope on it. It comes down, and this spot is where tons of water comes off of the golf course. And so what we did is basically put in a dry creek, right? So we came in with the beautiful river rock, the decorative river rock. We started here, and we just had to fill this area in, because you can see, on the other side of the fence that there's no grass there. It's just the quote mud, because of the water control. So it comes in, and then because Travis knew how the water flowed, we were able to come in and take this dry creek bed all the way down their side yard. And then there is one more of those big drain pipes, grates at the end of this, at the base of this. So it was really fun. We had a challenging situation of all the water running through here, but it's great because you can create beds, right? So we said, okay, so one side of the dry creek bed is going to be a bed. We're dancing with the sun here. It's going to be a bed, and then we're going to have, the other bed on the other side. You can see the sun is coming up. It gets lots of sun right here. And so we've got a really fun assortment again. Here we have limelights. Look at this. They are doing great. Again, lots of water on them. They are just slightly downturned, and that's okay. Just that little bit is all right, so you can shake it off. They'll pop back up, and they'll be fine. So we've got 3 limelights dotted down through here. We did another Rose of Sharon, but we did the white Rose of Sharon this time, the chiffon white. We have chiffon pink over there. We have chiffon white here. So those are dotted kind of down there as well. Look how big this one is. My goodness. This is a happy plant. Look at that. So we've got those in there. And then in the front, because we want to have some evergreens in here, so we did the Laura petalums, and then these are fire chiefs, right, Jer? Yeah, so these are fire chiefs. Really, I mean, like, look at that shrub. So much fun. Fire chiefs are a great evergreen plant. You can see how they have that perfectly nice natural mound to them. In the wintertime, they will take on a much more of that bronzy copper look. Even in the summer, their little tips are that color. And then in the winter, it's almost like a complete copper bronze color. So those are really fun. And then, of course, the Laura petalums down through here as well. And then we did install some of the reblooming azaleas. So this was...
It's either bonfire or autumn fire.
Yeah, it's either
It's probably autumn fire.
we think it's autumn fire. It's either autumn fire or autumn bonfire. So they are putting on some blooms right now. When you have your azaleas, sometimes it can be a little hard to, you know, when they're first getting established. That's where your holly tone can come in really helpful and just getting that fertilizer in. But when you can see, we have when we were doing the dry creek bed, we came in kind of with that medium rock, and then we had some bigger pieces that we put in here as well to try to kind of slow down the water. So it gives that also that kind of more of a natural look, because a creek bank doesn't have only one size rock, right? It has multiple sizes. So we kind of put bigger pieces in here to kind of slow down the water, give it a little bit more of a natural look. And then it just comes on down, the grate is like right where Jerry is standing. Now, let's talk about this bed. So while we're here, we'll start here and then we'll work our way back around. So this bed is a kind of a, I say relatively narrow bed, because you've got, of course, the creek bank, creek bed, and then you have the pool deck. I wanted to repeat a lot of those same colors. So here we have the Rudbeckia. We have it, you know, of course, at the gate. You have it here, and then we have it in another section. And right now, I mean, this is just spectacular. We came here and I told Jerry, it's like, I need more of this plant in my life, because it's the perfect plant for this time of year, because, you know, maybe other things are looking a little sad, they're looking a little tired, and then these babies come in and shine. This is Goldstrom, just gorgeous, absolutely stunning. On the very end, we do have also repeated in the whole garden itself some dianthus. And so this is Paint the Town Fancy. And Paint the Town Fancy is wonderful because it is low, right? So you have this beautiful evergreen mound, and we put a good number of them in here. So go ahead and put them in here. Over time, I mean, they have spread. These will spread and make a carpet. So this whole area will be filled. Their main show, of course, is in the spring. They are, you know, putting on blooms now. But it's just a nice way to kind of transition from a low up to a high with the Rudbeckia right here. And the butterflies absolutely love this garden. So I'm looking at a butterfly. She's on the Rose of Sharon. Earlier, she was on here. And of course, the Rudbeckia is great for your pollinators. It is wet, it's early in the morning, but they're starting to wake up, and we've got little bees all over these plants. So just a wonderful, wonderful addition. Coming up here, we did the Pugster Amethyst, so a nice short butterfly bush. They did lose one. That's to be expected. When you put in a massive landscape like this, you're gonna have a plant here or there that doesn't make it, and that's okay. We just, you know, you course correct and you fix it, not a problem. So coming on up here, can we just talk about these grasses just for a hot second? Are these not gorgeous? This is Desert Plains, and holy cow, they are some very, very happy grasses. This is about some of the best Desert Plains I have seen in a long time in the landscape. So they clearly love this spot. So if you're doing a landscape, right, even like your landscape, and you find that maybe when you put something in, you're gonna have areas, especially when it's like brand new, that you think a plant is gonna do great. Maybe it doesn't do really good. for example, let's say just pretend that the butterfly bushes really don't do well here, but then you've got these grasses that do. So maybe just take the butterfly bushes out, move them somewhere else, and put in more grasses. So you have to constantly be that student of your garden and figure out what's going on. This area is an absolutely gorgeous spot. I love this spot. Right beside where Jerry is, he's going to show you in just a minute, there is a hot tub. So Travis and Stephanie have a hot tub, and I don't know about you, but if I'm relaxing in a hot tub, the last thing I want is to have my sweet folks who are golfing to be looking down straight into the hot tub and to see what's going on. A little privacy is a good thing. So we planned this spot to give them evergreen privacy for the hot tub. And we kept it really simple. Sunshine ligustrums and a blue atlas. This is a Hortsman, and it is a dwarf Hortsman, and that's all we did. This is, again, a very, very happy tree, very happy spot for all of these plants. So we put the Hortsman pretty much, you kind of had to figure out what was the center of the bed, put it here, and just filled in all the areas with these sunshine ligustrums, and they are just spectacular because they get all this sun. They are that gorgeous chartreuse yellow color and just make a huge pop against the desert plains and the Hortsman. And then coming on down here, again, we needed to give a little bit of privacy because the pool is right here. And so what we did is we kept it really simple. We came through with sprinter boxwoods. Notice that we didn't do the sprinters in a straight line. We kind of offset them a little bit to give a little bit of a staggered effect. So we have the sprinter boxwoods, again, very happy. We put these in as 3 gallons a year ago, and they have more than like doubled in size. And then we did the denim and lace Russian sage, and it is beautiful and very happy. Yes, it's a little whimsical. Rain last night, the wind will come through because we are kind of down in a hole a little bit, but Travis is just loving this. I think it's a beautiful addition. It softens up the edge of the pool. The pollinators are all over it. They love it. But if you're with pollinators and you understand pollinators, they don't care about you. They're more interested in the plant than they are you. So even though this is right on the edge of the pool, that does not bother them. But these are just gorgeous, gorgeous plants. Color contrast between that silvery blue-green color of the Russian sage and the deep dark color of the sprinters is a really, really nice addition. So I was really happy to see how well they're doing. And then Stephanie's popped in some bulbs that she had in here. So that's another great thing, is you have this area between the sprinters and the grass that's an open bed. So you have lots of freedom to come in here. Stephanie has lots of freedom, Travis, to come in here and put something in here if they want to. If they don't want to, then that's perfectly fine, because I imagine that the kids are you know, walking through here, getting on the ledge, jumping off back and forth. So maybe they will leave it open, not a problem. And then coming back down through here is more of those gorgeous Rudbeckia. So this was definitely a huge problem, concern area during construction. So when we were here, imagine everything you see was bare soil, right? I mean, it was North Carolina's finest red clay. And if you'll notice, right here we have the land, and then right here at the pool, this is where they come into the pool. And right here, if you have any kind of water runoff, it's gonna come right here and go straight into the pool. So we do not want to fill up this gorgeous pool full of red clay. That's why we did the grass, nice thick zoysia grass, coming in here with the flower bed, putting in these shrubs, putting in the decorative stone around here to kind of slow any water. Nice thick mulch, again, absorbs water, slows it down. And then we have more of the river rock that comes in. And you'll notice last night they got good rain. There's nothing here. There is no soil, there is no red clay. So that stopped any of the wash coming down into the pool. So we've got the landscape, and then we brought in more of the decorative river rock right here. I believe there is a French drain here, isn't there, Jerry? I think there is. I think when they were putting in, I may be wrong on that, but I do want to say that when they were doing the construction that they put in a French drain right here, and there is yet another drain box down here. But just look at this. Is this not spectacular? So in 3 locations in this backyard, they have massive sections of this Rudbeckia. Pick any plant you want, right? But when you have the same plant repeated in multiple areas of the garden, that's huge pops of color, it just ties it all in. This is stunning. So don't be surprised if Jenny creates more areas in her yard with some Rudbeckia, because it is gorgeous. When Travis and Stephanie put in their pool, they were very smart, and they also had a pergola, a sitting area put in right here. So we're standing underneath the pergola, but I just wanted to show you their view. When they are sitting here, they've got great chairs and couches and a wonderful table so they can come and eat. And this is what they see. And is that just not beautiful? Not only because when Travis and I were planning this together, you know, you talk about it and you figure out, you know, what do you like, what do you not like, what's the look you're going for. So you go back and forth and you're figuring out which plants to use. But it's one thing for us to install the plants, right? It's another thing for the homeowner to maintain it. Over a year later, this is his work. He has done this, and it is just an absolutely beautiful view. I mean, who would not want this in their backyard? As this is your little oasis that you can come hang out with your family and your friends. It is just gorgeous. It is spectacular. I love all the colors and the different textures. So nice. I see hummingbirds back there. So there's hummingbirds, there's butterflies. Such a wonderful little spot. They also have an outdoor kitchen right here. So they use this area a ton. So they've got a grill, they've got fridge, they've got everything out here. And then up against the house, we didn't do a whole lot of landscaping up against the house because they already had existing landscaping up there. What we did was just kind of help them, I think because originally maybe this was grass back in here, and it was kind of a weird spot, if I'm remembering correctly. So we decided that this is all going to be mulch, just keep it natural. That way, as the years go on, they want to add more plants in, they can do that. And then there's yet another drain down here below the chairs. And so we decided to go ahead and fill this area in with that same river rock because it was just such a problem. So in this environment, in this backyard, erosion, full hot sun were their 2 biggest challenges. And so knowing that, and you have to kind of problem solve. We always talk about problem solving with, you know, in your landscape, right? So we problem solved what are plants that love it hot and dry. Russian sage does great. Sunshine ligustrum, gorgeous color. How are we going to deal with the water? Well, let's not fight it. You're not going to stop the water, so let's direct it, tell it where to go, and make it really pretty, and add that kind of that hardscape architectural interest to their yard. And it's just a beautiful addition. So we're going to try to do a little bit more of these garden tours on different aspects, right? We did Ronnie and Amber, where they're brand new gardeners, and they just really pushed themselves and went out there and did the front of their yard, the front of their house, and did a great job. And now we come to Travis and Stephanie's house, where it's been in for over a year. They've maintained it. It is gorgeous. So it's just so much fun to get out there, visit other gardens, talk to your friends, go on garden tours, lots of fun, botanical gardens, you name it, just get out there. You will be inspired. You will find some wonderful plants. And if not the specific plant, the look, right, that you want to incorporate into your yard. So a huge thank you to Travis and Stephanie for letting us come kind of come into their backyard first thing in the morning. Stay tuned because we're going to have some fantastic drone shots. Jerry's going to get the drone out to show it to you in the big picture, big perspective of how everything looks. As always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.